Okay, I've decided to film this video, but will you look at the amount of books? It is crazy. Hi, welcome to this video. Finally, I decided to film my huge book haul. I must say I've been so overwhelmed by this idea because I kind of bought a lot of books. As you can probably tell by the title, I have nearly 60 books here with me, which I'm going to be showing you, and they're a lot. Also, I have a few disclaimers before I get started. The very first is that I have bought these books since May. So it's been about 6 months since I bought them, and I've accumulated them over time. I did buy a lot of books in May and June because it was my birthday month in May, and that's when the lockdown really was lifted here and I could buy things online finally. And then I bought some in June, and it was mostly just books coming in that I ordered in May, and then I just bought a few books like recently in the last month. And yeah, I also bought all of these books with my own money, so that's there. I have not spent my parents' money or anybody else's money because yeah, I just wanted to spend my money on books. That being said, I am going to show you all these books now, and I'm not showing you them in any particular order because I was going to show you them in the order that I purchased them, but I thought it's just too chaotic here. So yeah, let's just dive right in. And the very last disclaimer, I have quite a few classics here. I have a few editions of the same book. You might think I'm crazy, but I just love the way books look. And I probably won't be going into detail about the plots of the classics because I feel like everybody knows what classics are about, and if you don't, obviously you can look it up, and it's just that my video would be so long and we would be here all day if I were to dive into those plots. And I don't know a lot about most of the books I've got because I like to dive into books just blindly, so I might not know everything about every book. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to be starting now. The very first book that I purchased was The Lion Tender, and you can see this is such a beautiful book, and I just loved this hardcover, and the naked hardback is just as beautiful. Wow. So the only thing I actually know about this book is about the fact that this is about a girl called Lucy. She's 7 years old when she loses her mother, and her mother is a marine biologist who studies sharks, and I think she dies because of a shark accident. I don't know much about the details, but it's about Lucy dealing with the grief of her mother's loss, and I think even learning to love sharks. Not love sharks exactly, I'm not sure if that's what it is, but just learning about what happened to her mom. I don't know more details, but it seems like a really heart-touching book, and yeah, I found this at a great deal, so I bought this. The next books, I'm actually going to show you both of them because they are by the same author in the same series. So this is A Pinch of Magic and A Sprinkle of Sorcery, and they are, I don't know if they're a duology or if there's more books coming, but these just look so beautiful. Honestly, I bought them mostly because of the cover, but also because I heard a lot of good reviews about these books, so I just thought I'll get these, and they're quite cheap. Honestly, I got them for like 300 each, which is a really good deal. And yeah, I also know that this is sort of about, I think, some sisters who are witches. I'm not sure if they're like witches or if they are just magicians. It's about 3 sisters which are trapped in an ancient curse, 3 magical objects with the power to change their fate. Will they be enough to break the curse, or will they lead the sisters even deeper in danger? And that's all I know about it, and I'm just going to go into it blindly because that's what I like to do. The next book I have here is This is so exciting. It is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, who's also written The Night Circus, but I haven't read that yet. I found this stunning copy on Amazon and I was just so excited. So I bought it, and I have heard that this is about a man who finds a book that is written which is about his own life, and I don't know much more about it, but I have heard that it's about a book inside a book, and a lot of people tend to either love it or hate it, and I really hope that I do love it because it's just such a stunning book. Yeah, I will probably show you the hardcover inside. It's just a black plain hardback, and look at the end papers. They are so beautiful. I am really hoping to even get The Night Circus and read that book as well, but yeah, I really hope I like this one. Now the next 3 books, this is going to be a lot, I guess. Okay. Oh, I got a call. So sorry, my dad had called, but here are the 3 books that I got, if you can see them clearly. So these are the books from the Pages & Co series, if you must have heard about them. They're actually quite popular. So the very first book in here is this one, Tilly and the Book Wanderers. Then there is Tilly and the Lost Fairy Tales, and the last one is Tilly and the Map of Stories. And you can see these books are so stunning and beautiful, and this one actually released recently, and I had pre-ordered this and I got this in October, and the first 2 books I had bought back in May. And I'll just show you one of the naked hardcovers because they are so beautiful. Look at that. This is just so stunning. And this is a middle grade series. All I know is that it's about Tilly, who lives in like a bookshop which is owned by her grandparents, I think, and she is able to travel into books, I guess. And there's like a secret society of all these people who can travel into books as well. I think, I'm not very sure, but that's all I know about the first book. I don't know about the next 2 books, and I'm just going to find out as I read. The next book I have is The Time of Green Magic. As you can see, it is beautiful, and this is just a paperback. It's a middle grade book. I like got this for 100 and something, which is crazy. And this is about Abby and her 2, I think, step brothers, and they're in this house where strange things are happening, but the adults are not noticing it, and they think that there's a mysterious creature in the house and everything, and that's all I know about it. It's a middle grade book. It sounds really wonderful, so yeah, I'm really excited to dive into it, probably on a cozy winter night. I'm so excited for November and December now because it's going to be just beautiful reading month. Okay, the next books I have are, so I have quite a few books I bought by Matt Haig, and I'm going to show you them in sequence. The very first 2 books I actually have are these 2, which are Reasons to Stay Alive and Notes on a Nervous Planet. And these 2 are books that I've already read, actually. I read these books on my Kindle a few months back, I think like 2 months back, and I loved them so much. They are just so beautiful, and I absolutely fell in love with Matt Haig's writing. I even follow him on Instagram, and his posts are just hilarious. I just always have a smile on my face whenever I'm reading whatever he's written, and I bought these again to reread them and to highlight everything he's written in here. Reasons to Stay Alive is about his depression, sort of, and Notes on a Nervous Planet is about his anxiety, and he writes so many relatable things. And if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, I highly recommend you pick up these books. I found the hardcovers on Amazon for like, I would say 400, 500 rupees, and so I bought them. And the naked hardback is also absolutely stunning. Just look at that, it's so beautiful. So yeah, I think these are definitely going to be loved by me. The next books, I have 3 books by Matt Haig. I think one of them you might already know. So the very first book I got is The Humans. I got this in paperback because I didn't like the illustration on the hardcover, and it's a beautiful book. I mean, it's firstly beautiful to look at, but the story is hilarious. It's about this alien who is sent in the body of a human, I think, and he doesn't know anything about the world, and he learns things about the humans as he is in this body, and he's supposed to I think carry out a mission, but he starts falling in love with this human's wife and I think children, and that's all I know about this book, but it sounds like such a beautiful premise, so I'm really excited to read this one. And I think this is like the very first books he wrote in fiction. And then the next book I have again is by Matt Haig, but this is an illustrated hardcover edition that I got. It's called How to Stop Time, and again this is about a man who has this condition which causes him to never age, and he's seen all of history apparently, and he decides to go and become a history teacher because he has lived through history. And he also belongs to, like, I think this secret society of all these people who never age, and they have this, basically they have a pact to never fall in love, and he tries very hard to not fall in love, but I think he doesn't succeed. That's all I know about the book. It sounds beautiful. It's illustrated by Chris Riddle, so it's just going to be gorgeous. If you can tell, it's just beautiful. Yeah, I am just so excited to read this. The next book I have, which is a recent release by Matt Haig, and that is The Midnight Library, and oh my god, I had been waiting to get my hands on this book. So the funny story about this book is actually my boyfriend Gav already ordered a copy of this book for me from chapter 1, and I think he like bought it for about 750 rupees, but he bought this in September and it has still not arrived. And like a week back I found a copy of it on Amazon for like 676 rupees. It's a hardcover, and I was wondering if I should get it, but then I got it because I wanted to get my hands on it as early as I could. So we're gonna keep a copy each. I just really don't like the fact that chapter 1 still did not deliver. If you know, chapter 1 is a bookstore in India, and I really do love their books. They provide such good quality books, good quality as in they provide hardcovers of different editions that we don't really get in India for very reasonable prices, but their delivery can be very slow if you're getting a procurement title, which they're going to be importing from another country, so just keep a note of that. But I do recommend them because I've got a few books from them and I really do like them. I have 2 more books coming from them actually. But yeah, I got this book and I am so happy to have my copy. So the only I think problematic thing about Amazon is sometimes their books are not good. Like here there's a little bit of tear, but I think that's fine, and yeah, I'm gonna get another copy, so it's fine. This book is about, oh, just look at that beautiful end paper. Stunning. I really wish it was a card actually. One of my friends told me she thought it was a card, and I was hoping it was a card too. But yeah, it's about a library, obviously, as the title says, and it's about this girl Nora, and I think like the only thing I know is that she's depressed and she wants to end her life, and I think she goes to this library where she finds all these different books with different storylines of how her life would have turned out if she would have lived a certain way. And I think it's about just embracing life for what it is and not wishing for it to be different all the time, of being okay with who you are. And that's what I think it's about, and I really want to go into it kind of blindly, but I'm really excited to read this because I've heard so many good reviews. I am hyped. But yeah, I probably will be reading Humans and How to Stop Time first before I get into it, just because I want to see the progression of how Matt Haig has written. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting my hands on them very soon and digging into them. The next book I have here is Catwoman by Sarah J Maas. Now, if you look at this, it's written by Sarah J Maas. Why would I not have it? But yeah, I am actually intrigued to read about Catwoman from her perspective. We all obviously know about Catwoman, but yeah, I thought I would just see how she writes in like a different storyline, because all I know about like all I've read from her is Throne of Glass, and I really love that series. And this also sounds really cool because it's Catwoman is like really feminist, not feminist exactly, I would say she's very strong and independent. And I know that it is about this girl called Selena, which is kind of funny because in Throne of Glass we have Selena, so that's very funny. And I think it's about like she and her sister. Well, her sister is not mentioned here, but I did see that she was trying to help her sister who is poor, and they are poor and they've like escaped from Gotham City's slums. That's all I know about this, and yeah, I'm just going to be digging into it blindly like all books. I'm really sorry if this video is very chaotic because this is my very first time hauling books and I'm so confused. But the next book I have here is Saving Missy. This is such an adorable book. I think this is like a debut book by Beth Morey, and it's about Missy, and she is an elderly woman. I think she's about 60. Oh, she's 79, and I think she's like regretting her life and everything and how her life has turned out. She's lonely and she's thinking about restarting her life, but it's about like, is it too late to change your life at 79? It just sounds like such a sad story, because I can't even imagine how my life is going to be at 79. So I just wanted to like go and see life through that perspective right now while I'm young, because I don't want to have regrets. And I mean, I know that we all like, just fearing regrets in itself is quite counterproductive, honestly, but I just want to see life through the perspective of a 79-year-old and learn from it. So that's the reason I got this. It just seems like such a heart-touching story, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to cry. But yeah, that's Saving Missy. The next book I have here is Anxious People by Frederick Beckman. You must have heard about this book, I'm sure, and the title in itself, I'm like, Anxious People, I need to get it. So this book is, all I know about this book is it's about a robbery in a bank, and then it's funny and there's a mystery element to it. That's all I know about it. I haven't tried and read about the plot. There's no plot here, it's inside here, obviously. Just look at the beautiful end papers here. So it's about all these people which are hostage by this Matt the robber, and they realize that maybe the robber needs saving more than they do. That's all I know about it, like I've said so many times, but I want to go into it blindly and see where the story takes me. I've heard many good reviews about this book as well, so I am really excited to see what it really is about, because I know it's not like as simple as it seems, probably. And also, this author wrote A Man Called Ova. If you've heard about it, I've not read it yet, but I'm hoping to read it sometime, because I've heard that that is a very touching story as well. Okay, the next book I have here is actually a graphic novel, Dancing at the Pity Party. As you can see, this is a book about a girl who loses her mom to cancer, and I think it's really sad. That's all I know about it, but it seems really sad, and the illustrations are beautiful as such. It's my first time owning a graphic novel, so I'm really happy about that. The only sad thing is it's got a little bit of damage here, as you can probably see. And I was really sad about that, but I waited for this book for I think over 3 months, and I again ordered this from chapter 1. So like I told you, they take a long time to deliver, and I was really sad to see this in this quality, but like I think it's fine. It's just the small little bend, but it's fine to read, so I decided to keep it. They do have a return policy, but it would take forever, so that's fine. I'm really happy though to have this, and yeah, I'm going to be reading this quite soon. I actually even got a book sleeve from them with this order. Let me just show it to you. So I got sent this little book sleeve by them with the book, which is really nice. So that was really good, and they sent it on like their first orders of the book. They're not providing that now, but yeah. Okay, so the next book, this is a nonfiction. It's called #Chill, and I bought this book from Amazon. And the reason I bought this book is because I have kind of been overworking in lockdown and not letting myself rest as much, so I thought it seems like an appropriate book. The only thing is, this book is divided into monthly chapters, and it's like one chapter for every day. So I don't want to start reading it right now because it would be so difficult to track it on Goodreads. So I've decided to start it in January. So from 1st January, I'm going to be reading every day. And yeah, it's a book about mindfulness. Just, I think, like a learn to relax book. That's what it's about. The next book I have here is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I have not read any books by Elizabeth Gilbert, but I'm really liking this. As you can see here, I've tabbed it a bit, and I'm currently reading this book. I'm on page number 92, and I even have this pretty bookmark that my friend gave me in here. So pretty. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. It's about creativity and how to find inspiration, how to find your creative side. It's also kind of like about law of attraction. It's a little bit woo-woo, so if you don't like that, you might not like it, but I'm really liking it. So yeah, I'm happy to be reading this. So I'm probably going to be diving into my classics now, but before that, I will just show you this crazy big box set that I got from chapter 1. Now this is an absolutely beautiful, oh my god, so heavy. As you can see, this is the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit box set, and it is so stunning. Oh my god, it is so heavy. I'll just show you one of the books. I could show you the illustrations in here. So this is the Hobbit, as you can tell. It is stunning. I'll just remove the hardback, the dust jacket, so you can see the book. Okay. So this is the book on the inside. It is stunning, and it is actually just like a normal book with a few illustrations. So as you can see here, it's got a few illustrations here and there, and this beautiful map. And honestly, I'm glad that it's a small book that I can hold easily, because we even have these Harry Potter big illustrated editions, but they are just so huge that I feel like it's really difficult to hold them properly and read. So and this will be my first time reading the Lord of the Rings, so I want to be able to read them, but like through these books. So I'm just so happy. I'm getting so hungry because I haven't had lunch yet. And it's like nearly 3 p.m. I guess. Yeah. Oh, and it even has a ribbon bookmark, so that's really nice. Oh, and chapter 1 even sends some one bookmark with it and an art print. I don't have it with me right now, but I will probably show it to you in a vlog or something. It's getting super dark. I'm just gonna get done with these now. So the next book, now I'm gonna get started with classics. So this is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I am so happy to get this book. I got this in May, and I've been reading it currently in October. Like, October is over now, but I am loving this. I am on page number, I think, 284, and I have this beautiful bookmark by chapter 1 in here, which is just so pretty. And I have been loving this book. It's about this girl, the main character protagonist, and they have not, like, Daphne du Maurier has not named this character, so we don't know the name of the main character. We just know her as Mrs. De Winter. So she marries this man called Maxim De Winter, and she goes to live in his house called Manderley, and he has lost his wife Rebecca in this house. Like, she died by drowning, and this whole thing is not a spoiler because we do find out about it at the very start. But Rebecca goes to live with him, and this whole thing happens very suddenly. And in the house, like, she gets kind of I would say obsessed with Rebecca in a way where she tries to compete with the ghost of Rebecca. At the same time, everyone else seems to be obsessed with Rebecca as well, and it's so crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so gothic and creepy and spooky, and I don't know, like, there are no ghosts as of yet, but I don't know, I feel like something crazy is going to happen. It just seems so mysterious to me, and I am really hoping to get through this soon and find out what really happens. I have like more than 100 pages, like a little over 100 pages left, so I'm going to be finishing this quite soon. So now I'm going to be getting into my classics, and I mean, Rebecca was a classic, but I'm going to be getting into other classics, and I'm not going to be going into the plot as much because this video is getting really long. So I'm just going to go through all the books I have and the editions that I have. So the very first classic I have here with me is Little Women, and this is the Penguin Clothbound edition that I got. As you can see, it's absolutely stunning, and yeah, I got this at a really good deal from Amazon. I got it like for $500, and it's a beautiful edition. Oh, I have my hair stuck. And I actually had previously bought Little Women in the Puffin edition as well, because I was not finding the clothbound edition, and I purchased this, but then later I found this, so I got this as well. Yeah. And I also found Little Men, which is part 2 of Little Women, and this is not included in the Penguin Clothbound edition. The Penguin Clothbound edition, I think, has Little Women and Good Wives in it, and then this is the sort of third part, but sort of second part, Little Men. And then there's this other book, the third part, which is Jo's Boys, but I haven't got that book yet. I might get it later if I feel like it. I mean, if I feel like I love the series. Then the next book I have here is Anne of Avonlea. This is the second book in Anne of Green Gables series. I have that book, which I've previously bought in the Puffin Clothbound edition. So I decided to get this book because I found it on Amazon for a good deal. And this is also about Anne, who goes to I think a teaching school, or she becomes a teacher, I'm not sure, but because it's related to my profession, I was really excited, so I decided I will get this. That's the main reason I got it. Oh, the next book I have here, it's actually not a classic, but it's based on classics. So this is Miss Austen, and as you can see, it is such a beautiful and stunning copy. It's supposed to be based on an embroidery work. I don't know who exactly did the embroidery work. They've not mentioned it here, but it's just absolutely beautiful. And they even have the, you can see the end papers are stunning. So the naked hardback is really pretty. I mean, it's just simple and plain. The end papers are absolutely stunning, as you can tell. And I also, so this one, I mean, the dust jacket has, as you can see, the embroidery work, like the back of the embroidery work, and that is just so cool. I love the detail that they put into it. So I have not read any of Jane Austen's book, though I have purchased them, and I have watched Pride and Prejudice, so I plan to read all of her books, and I'm trying to get into classics. So this book will be read after all of those books are being read, but I do know that it's about Cassandra, Jane Austen's sister, and I've heard that she burned a lot of Jane Austen's letters or something, and it's about her story. I don't know any more than that, so I'm really hoping to learn more and also enjoy it. Like, I hope I enjoy it. Let's see. So I'm sure everybody knows about Pride and Prejudice, and I bought 3 editions of Pride and Prejudice because I found them in such stunning editions. The very first edition I have here is the Penguin Deluxe edition, and it is just so stunning. I just love the art on this, so I just decided to get this. I don't know the artist who did this. I think it's like some Robert Toledo. Was it Robert? I'm not sure, but it's by the surname Toledo. So yeah, just love his artwork. And then the other edition I got is this huge, the Book to Table Classics, and it's got recipes in it. I mean, wow. So it has Martha Stewart's recipes, as you can see, and it's got illustrations. But other than that, the story is unabridged. Like, everything is as it should be. You can see here, so beautiful. So yeah, I think this is a stunning copy to read at home while I'm home, because I'm not going to be carrying it around. It's so heavy, but if I was reading it for the first time, I would love to read it through this book. The illustrations can be distracting, so I don't know if I'll be reading from this all the time, but I love that it has recipes. And if any of you do know, I love baking, so I am going to be baking a lot of the treats that are mentioned in here. What's happened to my grammar? So the last book I have here, I mean, it's Pride and Prejudice, but this is the stunning edition that I got. As you can see, I have been buying a lot of different editions of the same book. It's got gold foils on it, and it's just absolutely stunning. I couldn't give it up. This is a penguin leather-bound edition, I think. I'm not like 100% sure, but yeah, I think it's the leather-bound edition. And this is not a real leather, it's faux leather, but it's beautiful. Okay, the next books that I have in multiple editions. This is crazy, but I bought some editions of Jane Eyre. So this is the same edition that we saw for Pride and Prejudice, and it's another penguin leather bound. It is absolutely stunning. It's got like a copper foiling in there, and just look at that. And this, I love this quote so much. So I got Jane Eyre because I started reading Jane Eyre, like I had a library copy of it and I started reading it a few months ago, but the copy had really fine print, and I read a few chapters and I was like, I want to buy this and read it with a proper edition with good font. So I bought one copy, but then I ended up buying so many more copies. Yeah. So this is the very first copy that I bought. It's absolutely stunning, but I also got the Penguin Clothbound edition for this. So as you can see, it's just this beautifully plain red and black edition, and it's just beautiful. I also love that they have like same theme going on for both of these. So if you can see, this has got leaves, this has also got leaves. Penguin just makes such beautiful books, especially classics. That was not all. I also bought the Penguin Deluxe Edition. Look at that. So again, this is also done by R. Toledo. I again don't know if his first name is Robert, but just look at that beautiful illustration. It's just beautiful. And this page here. So I actually ended up paying a lot more for this book than the MRP, because when I was trying to find this edition, it was out of stock everywhere, and then I found one left in stock on Amazon and it was much higher than MRP, but I still ended up getting it because it's just beautiful, and I think they have it available now as well. So yeah, you could buy it now. But so these editions also have deckled edges, as you can see, so that's cool as well. And look at that. Okay, if you think that was all, no, I have more editions. So I bought another edition of Jane Eyre. Actually, I have like 3 more editions. This is another edition that I got from Amazon, and the only reason I got it is because it was like for about 100 and something, and it just looks so pretty, and I was like, you know, this is like a good edition to carry with me if I'm going anywhere. Not that I was traveling in lockdown, so I don't know why I thought that, but I ended up getting this edition as well. So that's that. And then I found this edition, and it was only one left in stock, and it was beautiful. Just look at it. It is by Vintage Classics, and they have made such a stunning copy of it. I'll just zoom it so you can see it properly, but just look at that. So yeah, I was kind of obsessed with buying a lot of editions of Jane Eyre. I don't know if you do that ever. Like, do you buy multiple editions of the same book? Tell me I'm not crazy. So the last edition I got, I couldn't pass this up at all. It's the most stunning edition of Jane Eyre that I own. It's the Barnes & Noble's edition, and it is just so pretty. Just look at that. Oh my god. Sorry, my sleeves are really annoying me, but that is beautiful. And just look at the dusted, like the sprayed edges with like dusty pink on them. Beautiful. I love this. That is the last edition of Jane Eyre that I have, so that's good. Okay, so moving on, I also have the Barnes & Noble's edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray that I bought, and again, absolutely stunning. Just look at that. So before I actually bought this edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray, I did buy it in another edition as well. So I also bought The Picture of Dorian Gray in this normal paperback edition before I found that stunning copy, and I also bought this, but that's okay. I guess I could just like keep it for reading when I carry it around, because I'm definitely not carrying around my Barnes & Noble's copy. So, and then I also got some books by the other Bronte sisters. So I got Agnes Grey by, I think this is by Anne Bronte, yes. So this is apparently similar to Jane Eyre, but like not entirely similar, but sort of similar, and I'm really interested to see how they compare. That's why I got the other books by the Bronte sisters as well. So I will show you all the books I got by Jane Austen now before I move to the other books by Bronte sisters. So I got Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and as you can see, this is another vintage classics edition. It is stunning, and I just know about Northanger Abbey is that it's about, like, I think a parody about Gothic novels. I think that's what it's about. I am still going to go into it blindly, so we'll see how it turns out. Then I have Emma by Jane Austen, and this is again in the Penguin Clothbound edition. Just so stunning, and I actually had this in paperback, but I saw the Penguin Clothbound on Amazon and I got it. And the next book I have is Sense and Sensibility, again by Jane Austen, and this is another Penguin Clothbound edition. Absolutely stunning. The other Jane Austen book that I have is Persuasion, and it's another Penguin Clothbound. So yeah, I'm going to go into most of these books blindly because I don't know what they are about, and from all that I've heard of Jane Austen, I know that I'm going to love them, but if I don't love them, well, either I'll keep it or I'll give it away, like the books, but I don't think I'll be giving them away because they're so pretty. We'll see. So the next book that I have is another book by Anne Bronte. This is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and as you can see, it's another edition by Vintage Classics. Just stunning. Oh, I totally forgot about this book by Jane Austen. So this is Mansfield Park, and I got this actually in the Penguin Library edition because I wasn't able to find this in another edition, I think. So yeah, that's that. And I also have Wuthering Heights, which is such a well-known book, and I am really excited to read this. It's by Emily Bronte, and it's another Gothic book. It has been compared to Rebecca. That is the reason I am just so excited to read this one. And I actually have this even in the Penguin Deluxe edition. So there's that. It is again another stunning illustration by R. Toledo, and I am just so excited to read this. Well, I'm excited to read all the books, so I don't know what I'm saying. But the next book I have is Middlemarch, and this is such a thick book. Okay, I don't know if I'm actually going to love it as much, but I got this book for 400 on Amazon. It's a stunning Penguin Clothbound edition, and I was like, I'm going to try and read it, and then I bought it, and I really hope I'm going to love it because it is so thick, and it's a classic, so there's that. But I really think I will like it, so fingers crossed. And I have two spooky books as well with me. So the very first is Frankenstein, definitely a classic that everybody has heard about, I hope. And like, the craziest thing about Frankenstein is everybody thinks Frankenstein is the monster, but Frankenstein is actually the scientist who created the monster. But then again, we could call that scientist a monster because I've heard that he's a bad person. Like, I think he's a bad person. We'll see. I also am really excited to read this because this is the book that like gave birth to like the genre of science fiction, and also the fact that Mary Shelley wrote this when she was about 19. It's just crazy to me, and I'm really excited to see how I like it and what I think about this book. So yeah, I'm just going to go into it very soon. I was going to read it for Halloween, but it's taking me a while to read Rebecca, so. And then I have this stunning edition of Dracula. Oh god, this is so beautiful. So I got this book in the Penguin Clothbound edition. Sorry, not the Penguin Clothbound, this is the Puffin Clothbound edition, and they also had it in the Penguin Deluxe edition, and I was really torn between the two, but then just look at this. It is so stunning, so I just could not pass it up. So I got it in this edition, and this again I was going to read for Halloween, but I haven't picked it up yet, so I'm hoping to read it as soon as I can. But yeah, it's a classic story. I do want to know how the story differs from all the other vampire stories because it is a classic, and yeah, I'm just going to be just devouring it, and I really hope I do like it because I've watched Vampire Diaries and everything, and I have a really different idea of vampires, but I know like that is just a modernized version. I want to see how it is in these books. Aren't Draculas and vampires the same, by the way? I'm confused. Dracula is a vampire, but his name is Dracula. Yeah. Okay, so I have a lot of editions of, not a lot of editions, a lot of the similar editions of different books. So these are all the Puffin Clothbound editions, and I'm going to show them to you one by one. The very first I have is A Little Princess, and this book I've actually already read. I read it in May, or I think June, and it is just such a wonderful book. It's about this girl who loses her father. She moves to, like, she is sent to this, what's it called, boarding school by her dad, who is in India, and he drops her off into England, and he goes back to India and he dies there. And she is really rich, but after her dad dies, she becomes poor, and it's about how she believes she is a princess even when she's poor, and that being a princess is more about what you are on the inside rather than how much you have on the outside. And it's just a very touching book. I really loved it, and it just touches on a lot of different things about you know, not having even enough food. I can't really go very deep into it properly. I don't know how to explain things very well, but it's just, you feel the emotions that she feels, and her name is Sarah. I never said that, but yeah, it's a wonderful read. If you're looking for a cozy, nice, like, classic that is a children's classic, definitely go for this one. Then the next book is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and definitely everybody knows about this. I have actually read this, and I had a different edition that I gave to my boyfriend Gav, because I got this edition, and it's just so cute and stunning. I think it's even got illustrations. Yeah. So that. The next book I have here is A Christmas Carol. Again, another book I've actually read, and I had another copy of, which I gave to Gav, and I'm going to be keeping this one, and I might just reread this book again in Christmas, but it's a stunning copy. And then the next edition I have is The Secret Garden. The next book I have is The Secret Garden. I think this is about this girl who is very spoiled, and she learns to like she matures as the book goes on. I'm really... Oh, my battery is running out. My memory card is running out. Okay, so my memory card ran out of space, but I just cleared it a bit. I'm going to get on with this really quickly because this is so long. But yeah, this is The Secret Garden, which is, like I said, about a girl who is like matures throughout the story, and I really want to see how that progresses in a children's book. It just seems really cute. And the next book, which definitely everybody knows about, is Peter Pan. Absolutely stunning. I actually even got Treasure Island in this edition, like these Puffin Clothbound editions, but I gifted that to Gav. But that was a really good edition as well. Okay, so I am finally done with all of the books. I can't believe that. Wow, they were so many books, and I had fun talking about them, but it was kind of overwhelming as well because I've never talked about so many books at once, and my brain is kind of going a little crazy now. Just need some water. But yeah, those are all of the books. I really hope you like this haul. I know it was a little chaotic, but yeah. And do let me know if you've bought any new books down in the comment section below, and what you're enjoying right now, what books you're reading, if you liked any books that I mentioned here, or if you've read any one of them, or if you're planning to buy any more books. Yeah, I would love to know about it in the comment section down below. And also let me know if you would like to see similar videos, or like, I don't think I'll be buying books as much in at least the foreseeable future, but I might buy them later. And I'm also going to be getting a TBR card soon. If you've heard of TBR cards, they're like these cute cards where you put your to be read books, and I have ordered one, so that's going to be coming this week, and I'm going to be adding my TBR books on there. I'm really excited. That being said, I'm really tired, and I'm gonna go and have some lunch now. So yeah, I'll see you later. Do subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my new videos where I'm just nerding out on things. But yeah, I'll see you soon in a new video. Bye, take care.